Hey everybody, it's Carol. I'm actually holed up here at a friend's house in Vegas, and I was asked to do a Camtasia demo in the last Q&A. So this is that demo. I'll mostly be screen sharing, but just wanted to pop on, say a quick hi to everybody. And I love this tool, and I can't wait to show you how to use it. It's got an amazing AI feature now that I'm in love with. So here we go. So, full disclosure, I am actually recording this on Zoom so that I can show you how the recording tools work. So, to make an audio recording of this, because I'm just going to put text visuals to it and not record a talking head, I start by going in Camtasia and popping up the recorder. Here's the record button over on the left. So as you can see, you've got lots of options and you're going to want to check your microphone level. Oh, I'm actually on the wrong microphone. So I'm going to switch to my headset and I'm just doing my screen. I could, if I chose, I could instead I could record my face or whatever I wanted. So like here's my actual background. But I'm doing my screen, so I could do that. You just hit the record button, it'll count down 3, 2, 1, and then you're making a recording that will appear automatically inside of Camtasia when you're done. So once I hit record and count it down, I'm free to just talk through my script, which I won't bore you with, and I'll come back when I've got my audio recording over in the Camtasia. Okay, I've went off and done my recording. So I have an audio here. This second file on the timeline is a recording of the lesson. And all I'm going to do is highlight that piece of audio and click Edit in Audiate. It'll ask me to save the Camtasia file, and then it's going to just export it on over to the Audiate tool, which is going to run an instant transcript of everything I've said. And boom, here you are with a transcript. And here's what's kind of amazing about it. First off, there's a couple of suggested edit options. You can delete all the sort of gaps, where you're just thinking about stuff. You can also take all the background noise out of all the pauses, and you can shorten them. If there was a long one where you were sitting there thinking endlessly, so I shortened down to about 2 seconds. And so that's just some instant editing that you would have ordinarily before this have done sitting here making little cuts on the timeline in Camtasia. But you don't have to do that now. So let me find somewhere where I flubbed and I want to get rid of my flood. Here we go. So I said this and I didn't like how the sentence was going and I bailed out. So now that I have the Audiate transcript, I can just highlight the words I want to get rid of, hit the delete key, and they're gone. Now you can go edit on the timeline in here also. You can pop that up and edit by waveform, but in general, you just do this. And this needs a capital letter, so I will click on scripting. I'll double click on that and just get that capital in, and I don't want this. So I'll just take it out. And then if I say done scripting, I'll get this. If I get a little notation like this, I'll say, no, I don't need that little piece of actuality. And you just go through till you have a complete transcript, and then you sync it with Camtasia. In my case, I want their beta of the dynamic captions. And I think the rest I just use default settings, and then you hit sync. And it's going to ask you to save this file. So this is my Camtasia demo. So we'll save our Audiate file. Now we can go back to here, and I need to allow it to access it. And here we go. You start to see I've got titles. And next I'm going to style these titles up, use my brand colors and the font I like, and turn it all into what looks like a Community Growth Academy piece of text. So the first thing I'm going to do is, because this isn't really closed captioning, but I'm just making this my whole style, I'm going to center this and make it take a, have room for about 2-3 lines. And I'm going to go in here in the options and click an important thing, split captions by sentence. This makes it display a lot better. Then obviously this is not my brand style or colors, so I'm going to change it to my style colors, which you can see I've got a previous lesson. This is actually like lesson 1 of Mod 5, I think. And I think I'm going to make it a little bit like this, so it's a good one to go for. The first thing to do is change the background, which you do by just clicking on the background and clicking on project settings. And then you can go to the color, and you can see I've been loading up, saving things as my brand colors. Pop that in. And then I'm going to copy my text style. So I see this, what this is over here. And I can change it over. Let's see what my size is. Looks too big. Oh yeah, the next, so I like this outline, and it enlivens the word that's speaking. So, but green is not one of my brand colors, so I'm gonna go through to that. They call that the stroke, and I think I'm gonna give it yellow. So let's see how that looks if I play that a little. So you can see that's pretty slick. Obviously, I'm going to want to go into the Audiate document for this and clean up that intro. So anytime you get out of this Audiate file, you can just click on the piece of audio that you want to edit and say continue editing in Audiate. It just pops it back up here. Here we are. So I don't want this little ellipsis, so I'm just going to take it out. But see this? So if I decide, oh, no, I really wanted that, I could click that and restore that audio back in. But for now, what I want to do is give some proper grammar to this so it'll display right in the titles. So I think I'll put a dash here, and we'll make that like that. I think I'll put a period. So remember how we're making it break on the periods. So I like to capitalize this, and I like numbers. So the trick to turning something like this into something smaller is to highlight the whole thing, and then it will keep all the audio of it. And this is junk, so I'm going to get rid of that. Anytime you want to kind of save, you can do done scripting. And if you get one of these, you just kind of have to go hit it again. And this is not the beginning of a sentence, which is about, I like to do these all caps, the titles of things. So I'm going to fix that. And year, like that. And this is Lesson 1. Again, I want a numeral, looks better in subtitles. And this also gets caps, plan. This is the name of the lesson, your communities, first month. And then I say done scripting. And then I want to make sure my sync is running the captions. And I want to sync it again. Then when I come back over here, you'll see that all the changes that I made are in. Oh, that needs help, doesn't it? So you can just stretch media like this to make it fit. So now you can see that it's parsing all the things that I just did. It's about your experience for this year. It's breaking it by sentences, and it's the typeface I want. And here it is synced. Hi, builders. It's Carol, and you have made it to Module 7, which is about your community's first month and year. This is Lesson 1, Plan Your Community's First Month. That's pretty much the magic of using Audiate to edit. You can see how much easier that is than maybe trying to run captions directly here on Camtasia, which you can also do, and sitting and physically spinning up this whole giant transcript and, manually editing out every little extra gap. And so this goes a lot faster. I want to say at this point, there's a little bit of a learning curve to getting all of the fine points of how to edit the transcript so that it looks exactly the way you want. At this point, it's pretty smooth for me, and maybe I have a half dozen things. What you always have to do is play it, play it all the way through, and watch it, and you'll usually find a couple of little minor items, and you just go clean them up, resync it, and it'll update it. Just the other thing I will say is that, now we have a few pieces of media. We have a little CGA logo here. Looks like it needs to get a little bigger, so I'll just stretch that. But we have a title card, we have my little video intro here, and then we're going to come over to looking at how to record, and then we look at the lesson. So we have all these different pieces of media, and what we probably want for starters is some nice smooth transitions between them. So I like just, the fade. So I can stick that on the front of here and on both of these. And there's so many different options. If you'd like it to, flip on its head, or it can do anything for a transition. There are just dozens and dozens of options. You can make it a heart that bursts apart, just like literally the options are endless for transitions. And there's also annotations, which I've loved using in the past on Den videos, where you might do a video of your head, you talking, and also add some little comments or exclamation points that you can kind of dress it up with, thought balloons, all kinds of fun things. And behaviors will let your, any words you pick up do crazy things, fly in, pop up off the bottom, just any kind of thing. Audio effects is something I use all the time. If you just recorded too hot or something, you can use audio compression to pack it back down. I use that a lot. So if you'd like a little intro music to, give your video some energy, they have a few choices in here. Not bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to use that one. So I can just go put that over my title credit, I think. And not that much of it, please. And, I'll probably fade that in and out with audio effects. Yeah, I'm going to fade it in and out here. So the other thing to know is, like, however much detail you need, you can use this bar to blow it way out or compress it way down. For this, I'm gonna want to compress. I'm gonna want to be able to see it because it's just going to be a little bitty actuality. So I just want this music to be about as long as my title card, so I'll shrink this bar down to that much. And then I can put this fade in, fade out on it. Fade in and fade out. Oh, look at that. Slick. I'm going to save that. So then I have my little intro video. I think that's pretty much hits the highlights of everything I love about this program. It is super easy to edit on here. You can just, highlight something, click this cut, and boom, it's gone. And if you don't like that, you can undo it. As someone who used to edit on physical tape, like that is so amazing. So like here, I can just chop this. I can see nothing goes on there. Boom. So this is just a super easy program. You can pick up media. If I wanted to be in another part of the video, I could just go stick it somewhere else. I know a lot of community builders are often thinking about how they want to do events. And I know a lot of people feel worried about editing and feel like they have to hire an editor. And I find this program super easy to work with. And I actually it's one of the tasks I like doing in my business and that I don't think about uh, farming out because it's just easy, flexible, fun, and it's just gotten so much better over the years. So that's what I've got to say about Camtasia. Let me know if you have any questions about it. And I hope if you use it, it helps you out in making your events. See you all soon on the school.